Or are we seeking stuff? Are we seeking social status? Are we seeking self-promotion and self-aggrandizement? Or are we truly putting Him first? He left the splendor of heaven. He put us first when He died on the cross. He put us first. And so He's asking us to do, He's not asking us to do what He didn't Himself do. And we might say to ourselves, well, how can we seek God's kingdom first? Friends, Jesus said, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. Self-denial is never easy. It's never easy to put aside our own agenda to follow what God wants us to do. But this is why Jesus has given us the Holy Spirit, to empower us to live for Him, to empower us to do what He's called us to do. When we think of self-denial, we think about the big sins like fornication and adultery. We think about lying and stealing. But there are other things that we need to deny ourselves, like pride and selfishness. Jesus said if we're going to come after Him, if we're going to be His disciples, we cannot pursue a comfortable life. We've got to pursue eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord. We've got to pursue the kingdom of God. We have got to pursue God's will, His plan for our lives. And then everything that we desire, He's going to add to our lives. And in the world to come, we will enjoy eternal life. Friends, let's not waste our lives. Jesus said, what shall it profit a man or a woman if they gain the whole world and lose their one soul? There's no point in trusting in our wealth, no point in trusting in uncertain riches. But He said we are to lay up for ourselves treasures in heaven where the moth can't eat them up, thieves can't break through and steal. But if we seek Him first and seek His kingdom, He will add everything that we need. So I pray today that you are encouraged not to seek a comfortable life, but to seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and everything you need will be added to you. God bless you. Join us again next week at this same time for Lifeline.
Faith, hope, encouragement is your lifeline.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, promise fulfilled. The government signing a heads-of agreement today with Oban Energies. Figure the numbers. The Deputy Prime Minister explaining why statistics are very important. Transformation. Bay Street getting another facelift.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
The construction of a multi-million-dollar oil storage facility on tap for Grand Bahama. Good Monday evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Thanks for starting a week of news off with us. Oban Energies is based in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and according to its website, the new terminal to be built on Grand Bahama will play a key strategic role as one of only 2 facilities close to the U.S. Gulf and East Coasts for deep water marine terminal servicing of crude and other products that are unloaded from large tankers at the marine terminal and either stored or loaded onto smaller ships that can access the water berths along the East Coast and the Caribbean. Tonight, we begin with the heads of agreements signed between executives of Oban Energies and the government this morning.
It's been 2 years in the making, and now Oban Energies will construct and operate a multi-million-dollar oil storage and refining facility on the island of Grand Bahama.
It is important that we create an atmosphere where development and investment can thrive. The Prime Minister has mandated and has led by example regarding prioritizing the revitalization of Grand Bahama.
Once the heads of agreement was signed Monday morning at the office of the Prime Minister, officials explained how this oil storage and refinery facility will boost Grand Bahama's economy. Oban Energies Executive Chairman Peter Krieger listed the employment and housing opportunities that will be available.
Our employment program will preserve 80% of the jobs for local Bahamians. These jobs will be long-term, sustainable, and underpinned by training programs. Our training and education programs include a commitment to invest in the local universities. Local housing creates local communities, and we will support these communities by committing to invest in local community projects.
Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Hubert Minnis touted OBAN's efforts to develop the island of Grand Bahama.
Grand Bahama has always seen significant indirect jobs as a result of existing storage facilities, and we expect the same for OBAN. This is a very significant development for Grand Bahama. The government of the Bahamas looks forward to working with OBAN Energies and other investors as we seek to revitalize the island of Grand Bahama.
Also making national news tonight, Minister of Finance, Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Peter Turnquest opened the National Strategy for the Development of Statistics Planning Workshop at Super Club's Breezes this morning, stressing the importance of statistical data and empirical evidence for government to make sound decisions based on facts and not speculation in the future. Now, stakeholders participated in or will participate in the workshop for the next 3 days, and the Deputy Prime Minister noted there is little coordination of statistical information between various agencies that he says is not efficient or effective. Turnquest says it's critical to organize the national statistics system for the country for it to effectively monitor and evaluate the targeted goals and objectives on initiatives like the National Development Plan and the Sustainable Development Goals.
It was determined that there is limited analysis and report writing that takes place using the data produced. This has contributed to a limited use of the data that is available for planning and evidence-based decision-making. Moving forward, you may determine that we must have a goal, as a goal, a greater use of statistics for policy planning and decision-making. But you must also tell us whether, in order to achieve this, we must have short-term objectives, such as increasing awareness about the benefits of statistics to society, increasing user satisfaction, or other effective strategies.
Economic Planning and Development consultant Dr. Jean Linné says government has decided on a national strategy for the development of statistics defined by the international community based on 3 pillars. He says statistics should be demand-oriented and also respond to the needs of users. Inter-American Development Bank country representative for the Bahamas, Maria Florencia Atadimo-Hurt, says it's a pleasure for the IDB to facilitate the workshop to support the development of national statistics.
The statistical systems that you're going to build here must take into account what's happening concerning the production and dissemination of data, the role of ICT.
Statistics is vital for any country for public policy making, for evidence-based decision taking. And we all feel that we need your support, everyone in this room and beyond, to come up with a strategy that suits the Bahamas and that support the Bahamas in further growth and development.
The Ministry of Labor and the Department of Labor will host another edition of its Labor on the Blocks initiative here in New Providence on Saturday, February 24th at Golden Gates Park on Carmichael Road. The goal is to utilize community parks to register job seekers in the department's database. And this weekend, constituents of Golden Gates, Carmichael, Southern Shores, Garden Hills, Tall Pines, and Golden Isles are encouraged to attend. Labor officials say there have been many persons hired on the spot on the past Labor on the Block events, and that speaks to the effectiveness of the new initiative while providing hope and opportunity. The Department of Labor has already hosted 3 very successful Labor on the Block events, including Bain and Grantstown, a construction industry-specific job fair at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium, and an extremely well-attended event in Grand Bahama this past Saturday at the Columbus Park. Now, labor officials want to remind persons attending the Labor on the Block's job fairs to bring their national insurance card and a valid government-issued ID, such as a passport or voter's card. Crossing over now to news from the courts, first at 6. 3 men and 1 woman faced a string of fraud and stealing charges in the magistrate's court today. Appearing before Magistrate Darren Roll Davis were 35-year-old Crispin Tina Munnings, 32-year-old Duran Mackey, 28-year-old Crispin Johnson, and 28-year-old Jamaris King. They were all accused of stealing money from Royal Bank of Canada accounts at different locations here in Nassau. They were not granted bail and have been remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Also appearing in court were 31-year-old Jason King and 37-year-old Samantha Bethel, who were charged with possession of dangerous drugs and ammunition and the possession of an unlicensed firearm. They were not granted bail and have also been remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Well, from the Daily Crime Report, Central Detective Unit officers were patrolling the area of Winton Meadows around 7 o'clock last night and observed a group of men standing around a car. Upon seeing the officers, the men began acting in a suspicious manner. Police say the officers later searched the vehicle and recovered a .45 high-point pistol and 1 round of ammunition. 6 men were taken into custody. Well, still to come, Bay Street to get a facelift soon. We're just getting started. First at 6, we've got more news on the next side of the break.
Happy birthday, Ariana. Happy birthday to you. What's this for?
I got me recess on cake for you.
Ever since you guys moved to the Family Islands, I have missed so many birthdays.
Yes, Mimi. We gotta thank BTC for bringing the internet to our community.
You're right, honey. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Grammy. Say bye, Grammy.
Commonwealth Bank MasterCard and SunCard MasterCard, the perfect team.
Using my Commonwealth Bank MasterCard is so easy. It's accepted around the corner and around the world.
Commonwealth Bank SunCard MasterCard lets you buy something Bahamian with something Bahamian. SunCard MasterCard will be accepted wherever you see the MasterCard logo throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Local bank, local card, local purchases. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Plans to transform the city of Nassau continues with a boardwalk, which will help to create not only a new feature to the downtown experience, but also a new economic zone. Members of the Downtown Nassau Partnership Committee feel a boardwalk will serve as a key part of that massive development for Bay Street. Here's Chairman Ed Fields.
For many, many years, we've been hearing about the boardwalk and what its relevance was and is, and to the stakeholders who own the properties in that area. They know that a boardwalk essentially is a catalyst to the development of that area. That from the waterfront back is really how the development has to go. It has already begun. The owners of the property on the foreshore from East Street to the Sydney Poitiers Bridge have agreed on a 12-foot wide boardwalk that will traverse properties owned by both public and private stakeholders. Government property will remain in public hands, as will private property remain in private hands. The boardwalk will be built by the private sector stakeholders across both public and private property at no cost to government. It will be fully accessible to the public, managed by the private sector to ensure maintenance, cleanliness, and security.
The boardwalk will also result in changes to several surrounding streets in the downtown Nassau area.
That the stakeholders also committed to putting a proposal together for government to ensure that the side streets north of Bay Street, that's Armstrong, DeVoe, Elizabeth, and Victoria, are all redesigned so that they tie in with the boardwalk in terms of lighting, sidewalks, the whole deal. Where the properties are not used for large-scale development opportunities will be afforded to local entrepreneurs to establish businesses along the boardwalk. This is not an overnight deal, okay? It is going to take a process to get, think about if you want to transform that into a living city and you have lots of people living there, you have to look at things like the sewage system, the water system, all that has to be upgraded.
In news from our #1 industry first at 6, Long Island will get a chance to showcase its love for mutton to Bahamians and visitors at its upcoming Mutton Festival on March 16th and 17th at the cultural site in Salt Pond. A tourism release states that the festival will not only entertain, but also educate attendees on the history of mutton in Long Island. Activities include a showcase of live animals, arts and crafts, local cuisine, games, and fun for the entire family. Several delicious mutton dishes will also be on sale, and patrons will enjoy the best mutton souse, curried mutton, steamed mutton, and baked mutton in the country. Long Island Tourist Office Executive Don Simmons said the island will reap great benefits from the festival, and they're hoping that people like you will travel to the island to enjoy the festivities in March. Well, the Ministry of Tourism's Film Commission is partnering with the University of the Bahamas to present the Movie Master Series. It's designed to boost production standards here in the Bahamas. Accomplished film producers and directors will share their knowledge and experiences with Bahamian filmmakers in order to inspire filmmakers to create content and enhance their level of production. Now, among the producers taking part in the event is co-executive producer of the Game of Thrones series, Vince Gerardis, and producer-director Marcus Nispel, who will discuss the business of film and television production at UWB's Performing Arts Center, and that's happening right now. Bahamian producers and directors like Kareem Mortimer and Maria Govan will be featured panelists on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Now, while in the Bahamas, the producers will also meet with potential business partners like Atlantis Paradise Island Resort and the Grand Bahama Port Authority and scout locations that may fit some of their future projects. On to other news first at 6, Reverend C.B. Moss received the 50th anniversary Lady Sassoon Gold Heart Award at this weekend's 54th annual Sir Victor Sassoon Bahamas Heart Foundation Ball at the Melia All-Inclusive Resort in Cable Beach. Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pinling, made the presentation to Reverend Moss, who was accompanied by Heart Foundation Chairman Roy Barnes. Now, the Heart Foundation, through its efforts of its supporters, has been able to provide surgical interventions for more than 4,000 Bahamian children suffering from heart disease. And to this feel-good story first at 6, Bahamas Harvest Church held its 3rd annual Good Deeds Project for the year on Saturday. The Good Deeds Project, under the umbrella of the church's For God and Bahamas campaign, was held at the Center for the Deaf with over 90 church volunteers in attendance. The day was filled with cheer, unity, stewardship, and gratitude as volunteers assisted the center with cleaning, gardening, painting, masonry, and the center's new mural that beautifully adorned in bright colors and highlighted that the church, more specifically Bahamas Harvest Church, was for them. Now, the Churches for God and Bahamas campaign was established at the start of the year to promote what the church is for.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Bring all the noise, drums, cowbells, whistles, and horns. FIBA World Cup qualifier games are back at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gym. Show your Bahamian pride and wear your colors as we take on the Dominican Republic Thursday, February 22nd, and Canada Sunday, February 25th. Oh my, I can't wait for all the above the rim, fast break, wire games. Team 242 needs their 6th man to be there. I know I'll be there. Tickets can be purchased online at www.etix.com.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Cellular and Electronics is your one-stop shop for all your electronic needs. From the latest in cell phones and accessories like the iPhone 6s Plus to the Samsung S6 Edge, the latest in game consoles, games, and accessories. We also carry the best hoverboards, stereo sound systems, and much more. We also have certified technicians to fix all your electronic needs. Located in the Coconut Grove Plaza and the mall at Marathon. What are you waiting for? Come on down to CTI Cellular and Electronics today.
Honey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm just putting together a to-do list.
A to-do list? What you gotta do so?
The first thing we need to do is change these old kitchen cabinets.
That's true, you know, but where can we find new ones at affordable prices?
Cornet Bahamas.
They still in Nassau?
Cornet Bahamas is now located in the Sandy Port Shopping Plaza. They offer affordable prices on kitchen cabinets, granite countertops, laminate flooring, and PVC sliding windows. Open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Visit their showroom today. Cornet Bahamas. Dream, design, deliver.
Fanta, supporting the greatest expression of Bahamian culture. More than one flavor, still one family.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Baseball taking center stage over the weekend in the Big Yard. Freedom Farm Nassau, led by founder Greg Burrows, making the trip to the league in Central Andros.
These little guys you see standing here before us today need the men's support. When I come back to Andros, I want you all to call us before I come back and say, look here, we need more uniform because we got more men involved. These your kids. The men have to be the foundation like a column. Not the foundation that lay down, that they put steel up. I want you to be the foundation like a column. To stand and put all of these young men in the front of you. So that if any of them fall, they will fall back. And you could be that foundation, that stand-up foundation that could support them and stand them back up straight.
The college baseball season is underway. Perez Knowles had it going for Columbus State as they took 2 of 3 games from Lynn University. Knowles got the start on the mound in the second game. He went 7 innings, giving up 3 runs, all earned on 4 hits with 12 strikeouts and 5 walks in a 14-4 victory. Jerrio Ramming also saw action for Columbus in the finale where he finished up 0 for 4. Lipscomb, they went 2-1 as well over the weekend against UNC Asheville. Tevin Simonet playing all 3 games, going a combined 3 of 12 with the stolen base and an RBI. Mount Olive, they also went 2-1 over the weekend against South Carolina Aiken. Trey Sweeting playing all 3 games as well there. He went a combined 2 of 12, a stolen base, an RBI, and 4 runs scored. Bryan College, they played just 1 game. That was a 10-5 win over Covenant. Wade Weinberger, he was 0 for 4 with a run scored. Mars Hill finishing up the weekend 0 for 2 against King University. Lance Edwards playing in the opener there. He went 0 for 1. Francis Marion also unable to pick up a win against Flagler, losing all 3 games. Arian Seymour suffering a 5-3 loss on the mound. He went 3 2/3 innings, giving up 3 runs, all earned on 5 hits, which included a home run. He also had 4 walks and a strikeout. Xavier also posting an 0-3 record over the weekend against 5th-ranked Florida State. Aubrey Major, he was a combined 1 of 12 with a run scored. While the college baseball season is just starting, the college swimming season that's winding down. At the SEC Championships over the weekend, South Carolina's Aubrey Higgs, she finished 8th in the 200 breaststroke, 209.23 her time. She was also 5th in the B final of the 100 breaststroke and 13th overall in 101.34. Meantime, at the Big Ten Championships, Indiana's Laura Morley, she swam the 200 breaststroke just like Higgs. She too was 8th in 211.55. Not a good weekend for Danielle Thompson as the Morgan State Bears women's tennis team failed to pick up a win against James Madison. Thompson lost at number 1 singles 6-2-4. She also fell at number 1 doubles with partner Asmara Farouk 7-5. It's ladies' night on the college hardwood. LaShawn Higgs and the 6th-ranked Texas Longhorns, they have a Big 12 battle when they host number 3 Baylor. Shalonda Neely and Coach Let McPhee-McQuinn, they're on the floor as well as the Jacksonville Dolphins welcomes the New Jersey Institute of Technology. Checking in now on our pro bowlers over the weekend. Tavario Miller, he had a good outing, 23 points, 9 boards, as Filligan of Norway pulled away from Amaran, 104-85. Kadeem Colby had 12 points, 6 boards to help Akita of Japan to a 99-62 blowout win of Yakayama. Shaquille Clare, meantime, 10 points, 8 boards, as Pulley of Switzerland got a 97-70 win over the Stingrays. Ronnie Cado, meantime, finishing with 11 points and 5 boards. Navarro of Spain, they edged Real Canoe 70-66. Back here at home, the Montague foreshore, the place to be yesterday for the conclusion of Barbara J's Catch Me If You Can regatta. The Lady Natalie was given an 11-minute head start, but even that was not enough. She was caught by all 3 A-class sloops.
It was a perfect condition for those A-class, for those big sails, and then we had a very long upwind course, and downwind they go almost twice as fast as we go downwind. But upwind, we were holding our own upwind, but when we go on that long bed, what you call downwind, they caught us very fast. We needed a couple more guys to sail, but we didn't expect the wind to die out. The wind died out on us, and we didn't have enough sail. But that's no excuse. We got a beating this time.
That is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
I guess I was too big-eyed. You promised me so much. I gave up my time, my friends, my connections, and my contacts. And this is how you treat me? I should have never left my mean squeeze for this side piece. With all these funny numbers and things.
Why switch when you can stay with the company that covers every island, rock, and key? BTC, every day.
Need insurance for your valuables? Shield Insurance is the answer for you, offering friendly, professional service at competitive prices. Our experienced staff at Shield Insurance work hard to ensure that you get the right coverage for your car, home, or business. Now introducing our new premium financing program, designed to make it easier for government workers and employees of approved businesses to receive car and home insurance. Visit Shield Insurance on Thompson Boulevard or call 356-7202.
At 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
What you see and hear on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The Code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcast by this station. The code is available on the IRCA website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 1-242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
The Ministry of Health wishes to advise members of the public that prevention is key during this flu season. Practicing good cough hygiene can make the difference between you and your loved ones getting the flu or spreading the influenza virus. Good cough hygiene habits include covering your mouth and nose with a tissue when coughing or sneezing, and proper disposal of the tissue in a trash bin. Coughing or sneezing into your upper sleeve near your inner elbow and not your hands when a tissue is not available. Avoiding the use of handkerchiefs and towels as they hold germs, becoming a nest for the virus. and frequently washing your hands with soap and water, which is listed as one of the most important steps you can take to avoid getting sick and passing the virus on to others. If you have any questions about how to practice good cough hygiene to avoid catching or spreading the flu, contact your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
In news from the region, Trinidad and Tobago police triggered protests by East Port of Spain residents early this morning who burned debris and blocked major roads which led into the capital. But by midday, lawmen said they had brought the situation under control. Now, the disturbances were prompted by what the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service described in a statement this morning as a, quote, police-involved shooting incident around 3:45 this morning. The victim, according to police, has been identified as 25-year-old Akil Christmas James. Jamaica's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade has confirmed that a student of Jamaican heritage was killed in last week's school shooting in Parkland, Florida. She's been identified as 17-year-old Helena Ramsey. Jamaican Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith expressed condolences in a statement to the family of the Jamaican teen, as well as family and friends of the other victims. The Foreign Affairs Minister said her ministry is in constant communication with Jamaica's Consul General in Miami and the country and federal offices. And Caribbean Tourism Industry professional Stacey Cox has been elected president of the Caribbean Society of Hotel Association Executives for the next 2 years. Cox, who unexpectedly took the top job early last year following an unscheduled leadership change, received a full 2-year mandate at the association's annual general meeting, which preceded this month's 36th annual Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association's Caribbean Travel Marketplace in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The association is an independent organization aimed at advancing professional development and strengthening networking among Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association executives.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, we have a very strong area of high pressure influencing our weather, and that means some brisk winds over the next several days, taking us right into the weekend. And that, coupled with an upper level trough, creating some cloudiness and will trigger 1 or 2 brief showers as well. But outside of our studios, we have mostly cloudy skies, temperatures 79 degrees, relative humidity 79%. The winds are out of the east-northeast at 13 knots. Your barometric pressure 1,022.5 millibars at 30.22 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks so much, Basil. That does it for First at 6 on this Monday. It's time now for a check on stories making news around the Northern Bahamas.
Economic relief on the way for East End. Hundreds in search of employment. And Grand Bahama welcoming another mega cruise vessel.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, a heads of agreement signed this morning in the nation's capital between the government of the Bahamas and Oban Energies. Approved in December 2016, the $4 billion investment is one step closer to the goal of delivering an injection in the communities of the East Grand Bahama. This major step will now allow the company to begin the environmental assessment studies before they are allowed to break ground and begin construction. Prime Minister Minnis noting that this development will create hundreds of permanent, well-paying jobs for Bahamians.
Oban Energies has advised that the first phase will consist of 4 million barrels of crude storage, a harbor, and deep-sea loading dock to service large vessels and the construction of a 50,000 barrel per day refinery. In addition, Oban will build up to 20 million barrel liquid bulk storage facility and a 250,000 barrel per day refinery.
Peter Krager says this development has been in the works for some time now. He notes that the project is already making an economic impact through the hiring of local partners, suppliers, and pre-construction workers.
As we move this project to the next stage, I hereby make a commitment to continue our local supplier and local employment programs. And I further commit to implement a program for housing and to develop the skills of our workforce. Our local supplier program will ensure that there is a direct financial investment in the local community, and it will commit our suppliers to use local Bahamians. Our employment program will preserve 80% of the jobs for local Bahamians. These jobs will be long-term, sustainable, and underpinned by training programs.
Gregor committed to further making a difference in the community.
Our training and education programs include a commitment to invest in the local universities, to provide on-the-job training and structured training programs such as vocational, apprenticeships, and management training programs. Our housing program will not only house workers during the construction period, but will also provide long-term housing for up to 200 residents post-construction. These homes are preserved exclusively for local residents. Local housing creates local communities, and we will support these communities by committing to invest in local community projects.
He says the company is already pretty far along with the environmental study and that the report is expected to be wrapped up within 45 days. He says about 24 local vendors are already a part of the pre-construction phase.
We are currently working with the government to get through the environmental impact assessment and the engineering, and as soon as we get our building permits, which we hope will happen before the end of this year, we should be able to start putting shovels in the ground within 30 days of receiving those final building permits. So we're hoping towards the end of this year, beginning of next year, and if we could do it sooner, we're anxious to get started.
While an exact location has not yet been identified, they have narrowed down the options. As Grand Bahama prepares for the launch of new jobs, hundreds turned out for the Labor on the Blocks this past Saturday. The initiative, organized by the Department of Labor, attracted various businesses as well. Our Talia Hall was there.
Hundreds of persons waited in line from as early as 7 a.m. Although the event was set to begin at 11 on the Columbus Park, all anxious for a job opportunity. Over 20 companies from Grand Bahama and New Providence participated in the Labor on the Blocks job fair. Now, while some residents were happy for the opportunity, some had a few concerns.
It could have been better planned. Some of these people, they can be discouraged before they even reach to the front. It's too hard out here.
People don't need to try it. People need, at the end of the day, solutions. So if you ain't bring the solution, this is just a game.
Where's the pastors, first of all, because some praying need to be done out here, you understand me? Some praying need to be done out here because if all these people out here is unemployed, you understand me, you should know in their home, you understand me, there's some financial situations, so where's the pastor to pray?
While others say they are just grateful.
I'm looking for a job and a nice steady job too. I got kids to take care of.
Trying to better myself. And I just want people to know Bahamian people want to work. They just want to be paid for their labor.
Right now, Mom, any job will do. As long as it's honest, I'm willing to do it.
Very, very impressed with the minister and what he did and what he said, and looking out for all of this long line go way around so.
Representatives from several companies were in place at the mega job fair.
We're looking for persons who are passionate, who are hungry, who are driven.
Bahama is an opportunity for a lot of Bahamians, and so, you know, until Grand Bahama gets back on its feet again, we're happy to have those persons come to Nassau.
We are currently looking for a few welders and fitters.
This is really an opportunity for us to sit down and talk with some of the job seekers, find out what their interests are.
We're looking for persons who see themselves in this career for the next 10 years or more.
We're looking for security officers on a part-time basis, and we do also have some full-time positions available.
The Minister of Labor, the Honorable Dion Folk, says they have had some positive results.
As a result of the 2 Labor on the Blocks that we had in Nassau, close to 800 persons have already been employed.
Minister Folk says there are 3 major projects on tap for the hotels on the Lakaya Strip, East End, and West Grand Bahama. He says there is some good news for those who did not benefit from this initiative.
You have to register in our data bank, and that's permanent. So you will be part of our data system going forward. So whenever those projects that I spoke to earlier, whenever they're looking for job seekers, we can send them resumes so that they can be contacted. So even those people who are here now who are not successful, it doesn't mean that they will not get a job in the future.
Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
The Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, Frederick McAlpine, says he encouraged all of his unemployed constituents to attend the job fair.
That have showed up here today are extremely large. That in itself speaks volumes as to how many people are hurting in Grand Bahama and need help. The fact that the government is taking the initiative to try to get companies out here to employ persons on the spot is good. But also the reality is, though, is that many of these persons on the line have been to these various same companies trying to get employment. So hopefully there's some sympathy and empathy, and because the government is taking the initiative, they will respond and perhaps see what they can do to at least employ some of the persons out here.
The second phase of Labor on the Blocks will be held in West Grand Bahama. Member of Parliament Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe says she welcomes the move.
When you think about the dynamics of the actual labor force, there are a number of companies that may be in Freeport that doesn't necessarily apply to West Grand Bahama. So for us, we'd probably be looking at a lot of those industries that involve maritime and tourism related activities. And I'm thinking that once they come into our community, we can cater to that and invite businesses from throughout the Bahamas or even West End to be involved in that.
More cruise vessels making a stop here on Grand Bahama. Yesterday, it was the Royal Caribbean Navigator of the Seas with over 3,000 cruise passengers on board. The Navigator of the Seas making its inaugural voyage to Grand Bahama, thanks to a group that chartered the vessel for a 4-day cruise to the islands of New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Coco Key. Manager of Niche Marketing and Cruise Tourism, Nuvalari Chota Singh, welcoming the guests to the island.
The Ministry of Tourism is always delighted and excited to have a ship that has not called on Grand Bahama Island before indeed do so. Today we have the Navigator with some 3,600 passengers aboard. In this case, it's a special group, a special charter group. So to have them here, and it's a big thing in cruising now. The groups design their own itinerary pretty much, and so everybody's going that way, so they get to go where they want to go when they want to go, and if a ship's available, they make it happen if possible. So it's good for Grand Bahama.
Captain Thond Holmes says that he has visited the island previously and that he is always in awe of the country's beautiful waters. When it comes to Grand Bahama, he notes that the island holds a great deal of potential, but it must be developed in order to fully capitalize on the opportunities.
You definitely have a lot of opportunities. This cruise we only have 70 people going on tour. But once again, this is a charter cruise, it's a little bit special. And on a normal cruise, most likely we would have had some more people going on tours. But then again, there's a lot of potential. And it's all up to you what you manage to create here and offer to our guests to get them out and also have them to support the local economy.
Director of the port with the Freeport Harbor Company, Orlando Forbes, says they are in talks behind the scenes, and he is confident that the ship will make Grand Bahama a regular port of call. However, he agrees that more must be done to entice passengers.
Predominantly, the main reasons that the cruises have come is based on our location. The tour aspect has to improve significantly. There simply is not enough for the passengers to do. There is some work that has to go on in the transportation aspect as well. That is coming, you know, and you know, I think once we're able to get those two aspects remedied and improved, you know, I think that'll go a long way towards improving Freeport as a destination overall.
Captain Holmes says the ship will return in January for 32 days on dry dock. But this May, the ship will begin 3 to 4 day cruises in the Bahamas with some stops to Grand Bahama. In news from the crime beat, the Rapid Response Unit arresting 2 persons for possession of dangerous drugs. Reports say the officers were on patrol in the Yorkshire Drive, South Bahama area around 6 p.m. on Saturday when they arrested the 2 male occupants of a vehicle who were reportedly found in possession of 2.4 pounds of suspected marijuana. The estimated street value of the drugs, $2,500. 5 men sustaining stab wounds following an altercation at a club in the Freeport area. The incident occurred shortly after 12 a.m. on Sunday. The injured men were taken to hospital and their injuries are said to be serious. Several persons are in custody, assisting police with this investigation. Stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition continues in just a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
You name it, and Dolly's got it in the bag. That means they have it all. Gorgeous rooms to go furniture and accessories, Radio Shack electronics and musician supplies, Ace hardware and housewares, Whirlpool and GE appliances, Ace paint and supplies, the Garden Center. We have thousands of items to choose from to make your home run. And Dolly Madison is committed to providing you with quality name brand products at great everyday savings. Yes, Dolly Madison Home Center's got it in the bag.
Why shop abroad when there is Bellevue Business Depot, your one-stop shop for all your complete business solutions and office supplies. Come and explore our new furniture showroom where you can find desks, chairs, filing cabinets, and bookcases for your home and office. Need to accessorize that desk? Our wide range of electronics where we have laptops, speakers, printers, televisions, routers, and much, much more. We also specialize in computer repairs and IT support. Don't have a computer? No problem. Come enjoy our low rates at our cyber center or let our professional trained staff at the business center satisfy all of your printing needs where we do house plans, funeral programs, weddings, and discounts for all teachers and churches. While waiting on your prints, purchase a mocha at our coffee cafe where we also serve fresh Bahamian patties and pastries. All here at Bellevue Business Depot, Queens Highway, Freeport. Store hours 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday and Saturdays 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Bellevue Business Depot.
Grand Bahama, you don't want to miss Love and Laugh comedy show brought to you by Flying High Promotions. 7 p.m. Saturday, March 3rd at a Social Affair Convention Center. Tickets $30 in advance.
KFC Famous Bowls are back. Stay warm this winter with KFC Famous Bowls. Regular and barbecue. Hot, creamy mashed potatoes, topped with corn and the Colonel's delicious popcorn chicken, layered in hot gravy or our sweet honey barbecue sauce, topped with our 3-cheese blend. So much to eat. What are you waiting on? Stay cold or get warm with KFC Famous Bowls. Available at all KFC restaurants in Freeport.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Gold Rock Concrete, now manufacturing 4, 6, and 8-inch concrete blocks and ready-mix concrete. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The island of Bimini is the gateway to the Bahamas. It was also a place of peace and rest for Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Artwork was recently dedicated to his memory on that northern island, and as Ricardo Lightbourne tells us, the art piece exemplifies Dr. King's teaching on peace and love.
Renowned artist Steve Skipper put 1,000 easel hours into the original painting commemorating Dr. Martin Luther King's visit to Bimini. The unveiling at the Bimini National Airport was a stunning event for government officials, residents, and visitors. For Steve Stricker, the moment was captivating.
The artist presentation is going to bear the signatures of Ansel Saunders and Andrew Young. It's going to bring Bimini and America together with the legacy of Dr. King that'll go around the world, and it will actually change the study and education about the civil rights movement, because the missing link to that legacy is Bimini.
Former United States Ambassador to the UN, Andrew Young, said Bimini to Dr. King was a place of peace. The painting solidifies Dr. King's teaching of peace and love to the world.
What Steve Skipper has done with this painting is he has commemorated that moment but he has done it in such a way that that moment continues. He has an amazing way of not painting a portrait of the past, but giving you a sense of the spiritual presence of Martin Luther King still in our midst.
Bob Baumauer, retired Miami Dolphin player, prompted Steve to remember Dr. King in such an incredible way. His love for the people and the island of Bimini on canvas is captivating.
A guy like me, I was very, very blessed to have people like Coach Bryant in my life and Coach Shula. Good leaders, but more importantly, they're good men. They teach you to be the best you can be. They're really, really good teachers. And what Dr. King has done for me is he has taught me to want to be a better man. You know, so there's so many lessons to be learned by what his story's about. And then Bimini is such a special place. And because it's such a special place, it creates more and more relationships, and it's just really neat for me to watch.
Training by Steve Skipper of Dr. Martin Luther King is a welcome addition to the island of Bimini, the gateway to the Bahamas. Ricardo Lightburn, ZNS Network News.
And now it is time to Ask the Doctor.
Welcome. Robin from Nassau sent this question. Dr. Pratt, my mother has heart disease. I know that sometimes I also get pain in my chest, even though it's only for a short period. What are some ways to prevent heart disease? Heart disease describes a collection of conditions that affect your heart, such as any heart defects you may have had when you were born, blood vessel diseases, and heart rhythm problems, what we call arrhythmias. Although heart disease is a leading cause of death, you do not have to accept this as your fate. You may not have the power to change some of the risk factors of heart disease, like family history, sex, or age, but there are some heart disease prevention steps that you can take. The key to preventing heart disease is adopting a heart-healthy lifestyle. By implementing the following prevention tips, you can avoid heart disease. Don't smoke or use tobacco. Exercise for at least 30 minutes for 5 days a week. Eat a heart-healthy diet. Maintain a healthy weight. Get enough sleep and get regular health checkups. If you have a question about living a heart-healthy lifestyle and need tips on how to lower your risk for developing heart disease, please drop it in my question box at the hospital or at any one of our Grand Bahama community clinics. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away, Ricardo Lightburn is up next with a check on sports.
That's what you've been waiting for, the newest men's fashion store at number 1 Britannia Mini Mall, Caravel Beach, Hustle Men's Fashion.
Do you know what driving while intoxicated means? Motorists who drive while texting. Did you know that motorists who talk on handheld or even hand-free devices while driving are just as impaired as drunk drivers? Countless of accidents happen every year and even deaths due to these thoughtless actions. So remember, the next time you're attempted to text and drive, remember it may mean life or death.
This message was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas and John West Shoe Store. We're going to take you there in style.
All last year, I fell in love with Belinda. But this year, I want to just kick it up a notch.
Did you hear about our new bamboo line?
When you start talking about you can sell on TV.
Hold on, Dr. Love. Not that type of bamboo you're talking about. You ain't hear about the nice bamboo sheet. And you can get it in all colors. And if you ain't want it in the sheets, Dr. Love, you can get it in the pillows.
Thank God for Island Bedding.
Come and visit me at number 5, Queens Highway, Island Bedding.
Welcome to Jags International. We have Celebration, Valeria, FRS, Bahamas Air, Hotel, car vouchers now on sale.
Girls, I tried book my ticket online with them ferry them. So complicated, they asking for too much.
That's why I stick with Jags. No agency fees or booking fees. Cash and credit, all the same. Blow deals and spectacular services with a smile.
Yes, that's Jags. Your one-stop shop to Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Miami.
We even offer cheap car rental vouchers, dollar, thrifty, Hertz, and VIP service.
Book now with Jags and get their $5 discount card. And don't forget the super sales going on.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979. Don't miss Love and Remembrance Show this Friday at 8 p.m. Dr. Ash will reveal 2 lucky winners from their Nassau and Freeport offices. Yes, that's Ion Health Love and Remembrance Show this Friday at 8 p.m. They will reflect on 2017 as they embrace this new and exciting year 2018. Ion Health this Friday at 8 p.m.
And welcome to Sports, everybody. I'm Ricardo Lightbone. This is what I'm dedicating to Will Stubbs. You see, every Monday since 1973, Will remembers getting punished by Mother Dorothy Lightbone because he was throwing rocks at the water tank down there in Bartontown Primary. Will got a good beating. You think David Wallace remember that spanking as well? I doubt it. Okay, the Grandma High School Track and Field Championships, folks. Final day competition, but the hundreds were great on Saturday. Let's go to the Plex. The bleachers at the Plex with fans ready for the 100-meter finals. The under 13 girls 100 meters was a signature event for Jack Hayward. Solange Sargent, 13.98 seconds, and the gold, the silver goes to Leah Hewitt of Tabernacle and Genesis Thompson, 3rd place. Let's break away to the under 20 boys high jump award, and Chiron Kemp of Tabernacle got the gold, clearing 2.07 meters. Back to the track. It is the under 13 boys 100 meters, and Malik Wood of Sunland clocking 13.23 seconds. Denard Adley and Joshua Johnson 2 and 3. On the track, then, 15 girls 100 meters was a duo for Tabernacle, Stephanie Dean and Cassie Thompson, finishing 1 and 2, 12.81 seconds, 13.2. Ariel Ferguson with a 3rd place finish.
I felt that my get out wasn't that good, but it was easy.
You felt pretty good about it, right?
Yes, sir.
What about you? 2nd place today. How do you feel you ran?
I felt good. It was a little challenging, but ended up coming 2nd.
The other 15 boys 100 meters was another Tabernacle statement watch with Teo Smith and Lyndon Johnson rolling 1 and 2, 11.73 seconds, 12.29. Shamar Neely of Panthers, he had a 3rd place finish.
I felt good when I got on the blocks. I feel like I exploded the blocks, you know, and just bring it home.
Tell me about your 2nd place finish and how do you feel you ran?
I feel like I ran good. All we was worrying about is 1st and 2nd, and hopefully to do better next year.
The 100 meters now for under 17 girls, and this one was a come down to a photo finish. Bishop Michael Eldon, Rajane Brown was 12.02. Tabernacle, Renique Bassett 13.04 and 13.0.9 for Sunlands to Jonna Stubbs.
I feel like I ran well, and there was a lot of competition in this race.
And what about you? Right on the heels, how do you feel?
I ran bad. It wasn't good. I got to get out better and run faster.
The girls under 21 meters was simply an event for Destiny Hyla. No competition, 12.47 seconds and a bit of a scare.
My hamstring, I have no problems, but I felt it running during the race, but I didn't stop.
Under 20 boys 100 meters, yet another Tabernacle Falcon statement. Shaquille Higgs, 10.94. Lyndon Johnson, 12.29. And Emmett Higgins with a 3rd place finish.
I felt really good. I just knew I had to do what my coach told me to do. And we put God in first, you could get out with the victory.
Tell me about you. 2nd place finish. How was your race today?
I got it excellent, but had a little stumble. But I redeemed myself, kept back in the race and did what I had to do.
Okay. A 3rd place finish, man. How you felt you ran today, Emmett?
I felt I ran good enough, but got out the block slow. But I made up and I got 3rd place.
Well, let me tell you that the meet is going on right now at the Grandma Sports Complex. The Panthers, assistant Patricia Russell, start off the day leading that division as far as the juniors in the senior division. The Tabernacle Falcons 473 points. Now, let me tell you that the meet director, Emmett Higgins, says that so far the meet went very well.
We had some outstanding performances in the field events, particularly in under 17 boys triple jumper. Falls from 8 Mile Rock. He did extremely well. I think he jumped 40 something like 47.8. We haven't seen such feat like that on Grand Bahama in a while. Then you had this afternoon and under 20 boys 400 meters where we had Corey Sherrod ran 48.4 with a 48.7 from Sims. These guys they've been running extremely well.
And let me tell you, the Bimini team did exceptionally well, and I want to say to Colleen Sines Jones down there in Bimini, you can celebrate your kids did very well here during the track meet. Let's look at your sports tonight.
Come on down to Clearview Glass and Window Repair, your hurricane preparedness specialist. Call them at 352-7694.
Hi, I'm Olympia Ferguson from Budget Pest Control. On Grand Bahama, there are only two types of homes, those with termites and those that will have termites. The signs you should look for are drywood termite fecal pellets, subterranean termite shelter tubes, and of course damaged wood. We now have on Grand Bahama the Coptotermes formosanus, or the super termite, which can do extreme damage in a very short period of time. To know more and to protect your investment, contact the termite experts at Budget Pest Control. With us, it's not just a company behind you, but a family. We are located on 13 Forest Avenue. Call us today at 351-7378.
The Awards and Science Center has everything you need to help you give that special someone the most amazing personalized creative gift. One-of-a-kind floral arrangements to brighten someone's day. Recognition awards ranging from plaques to trophies. And yes, even tombstones to memorialize your loved ones. Visit the Awards and Science Center and be dazzled by our vast, beautiful array of supplies on West Atlanta Drive. The Awards and Science Center.
Introducing FRS Caribbean's new services to Bimini and Miami. Go to Bimini from Grand Bahama Island for only $14 one way, or to Miami with one stop in Bimini for only $21 one way on our modern high-speed craft. And while you're at it, let us handle your cargo needs too for only $99.60 a pallet. Book now. FRS Caribbean is the best and most affordable way to Bimini and Miami.
Chulo! Hey! So big man, what's going on?
Man, look here. I getting ready to have the biggest concert of the year.
Using Tickets 242.
Who?
Tickets 242. The best thing for promoters. Everything free.
Free?
Yeah, man. Just call them at 646-8681. So you bring in?
Randy Watson.
Who?
Randy Watson. Coming to America. Sexual chocolate. Sexual chocolate! Damn, that boy could.
Okay. I want to thank everybody. Have my mother celebrated her 80th birthday yesterday. We had a celebration at St. Paul's Church. It was great, and she turns 80 tomorrow. Mommy, happy birthday to you. And it was great. Will Stubbs and the guys did a great job.
Nice. Happy birthday.
There you go. It's great to have him with us last night.
So that's going to do it for us here in the North.
I'm Ricardo Lightborn.
I'm Megan Shepard. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Bye, y'all.
Coming up in the national report, the government and OBAN signing a significant heads of agreement for a major investment in the nation's second city today. Several persons were charged in a magistrate's court for dangerous drugs, illegal firearms, and fraud. And a new feature expected to bring a new experience for visitors to the city center. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report, starts right now. The government keeping its commitment of boosting the economy of Grand Bahama. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today, the heads of agreement was signed between government and Florida-based OBAN Energies to construct and operate a multi-million-dollar facility in East Grand Bahama. Altavi's Munnings reports on the signing at the office of the Prime Minister this morning.
The government approved OBAN Energy's proposal to construct an oil refinery and oil storage facility in Grand Bahama back in December of 2016. Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Hubert Minnis noted that although the construction process has not been finalized, Monday's heads of agreement signing ceremony at the office of the Prime Minister in Cable Beach is a very important step.
OBAN Energies has advised that the first phase will consist of 4 million barrels of crude storage, a harbor, and deep-sea loading dock, to service large vessels and the construction of a 50,000 barrel per day refinery. In addition, Oban will build up to 20 million barrel liquid bulk storage facility and a 250,000 barrel per day refinery.
Oban Energies also plans to employ hundreds of Bahamians during the construction phase and create a significant number of employment opportunities once operational. The company will also construct a housing community. But Oban Energies officials can't begin work until the project's environmental assessment study is complete. Executive Chairman Peter Krieger confirmed the company hopes to have it done in about 45 days.
As a matter of fact, this week our engineering team will be flying into Grand Bahama to have its scoping meeting with the government to make sure we cover all environmental issues and that we're satisfied with the direction of the environmental mitigation that we're going to be doing to protect the environment. We've already spent a significant amount of money, many millions of dollars in pre-construction to this stage. We've done our geotechnical work, our engineering, our environmental survey, marine engineering. So there's already been a significant investment. However, in order to move forward with the banks, we need to deliver certain deliverables, such as our approval from the government, our permits and everything. The oil depots or storage facilities that are in Grand Bahama now, Buckeye, they're mainly concerned with storage. You'd notice that this is both storage and refinery, and hence an increase in job numbers.
The island of Grand Bahama is already home to oil companies Buckeye Bahamas and Statoil. However, Oban Energy officials believe they will be able to offer something different.
This allows us to process crudes and refine them and opens up a market much larger than just storage. And the support for the refinery, the storage support needed for the refinery is quite significant. So it allows us to have a much more diversified group of customers that we will be servicing, and allows us to offer a lot more different products to those customers and services to those customers. We have Bahamas Investment Authority would have done due diligence on the company. They would have done a financial assessment to ensure that funding is there and that they can complete the project. We would insist that environmental impact studies are done and environmental management studies are done to ensure complete safety of each and every Bahamian and that our environment are protected.
Oban Energies is based in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and according to its website, it says that the new terminal to be built in Grand Bahama will be one of only 2 terminals close to the U.S. Gulf and East Coast that will service crude oil and other products to the region. Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Oban Energies will construct its new facility in East Grand Bahama about a mile away from the oil plant. Area Member of Parliament, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, says he's excited for the opportunities this project will bring to what he calls a rebirth of Grand Bahama.
I am very pleased in particular to their commitment to training, to educational and research programs, and to housing. Because these are all existing complaints, issues that we have in our community, and we want to, and their stated intent to be inclusive in respect to the community is absolutely wonderful news for us and for this community. One of the important things that will also come out of this is to create the inspiration for the Freeport area, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, to do a little bit more in terms of attracting investment and developing opportunities in the city of Freeport.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, stressing the importance of statistical data and empirical evidence in making sound decisions based on fact, not speculation in the future. His comments came as he addressed participants attending the statistics planning workshop at Suva Club's Breezes today. The Finance Minister noted there is little coordination of statistical information between various agencies that he says is not efficient or effective. Turnquest says it is critical to to organize the national statistics system of the country for it to effectively monitor and evaluate the targeted goals and objectives on initiatives like the National Development Plan and the Sustainable Development Goals.
It was determined that there is limited analysis and report writing that takes place using the data produced. This has contributed to a limited use of the data that is available for planning and evidence-based decision-making. Moving forward, you may determine that we must have a goal, as a goal, a greater use of statistics for policy planning and decision-making. But you must also tell us whether, in order to achieve this, we must have short-term objectives, such as increasing awareness about the benefits of statistics to society, increasing user satisfaction, or other effective strategies.
Economic planning and development consultant Dr. Jean Linné says statistics should be demand-oriented and also respond to the needs of users. IDB country representative for the Bahamas, Maria Florencia Atodemo-Hurt, says it's a pleasure for the IDB to facilitate the workshop to support the development of national statistics in this country.
Systems that you're going to build here must take into account what's happening concerning the production and dissemination of data, the role of ICT.
Statistics is vital for any country for public policy making, for evidence-based decision taking. And we all feel that we need your support, everyone in this room and beyond, to come up with a strategy that suits the Bahamas and that support the Bahamas in further growth and development.
And still to come, a scare for a number of passengers today on board a public service bus. And a busy weekend for NBA player Buddy Hield. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Lede, designed for extra miles.
What does support look like? What does it sound like when you feel the pulse of a nation? When you make a difference in the lives of strong, principled, cultured people who are driven by hard work and passion. People who build communities where hospitality is warmly demonstrated because this is the Bahamas and we're happy to share our wealth. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians. Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
This is what Christmas looks like when you have a Bank of the Bahamas Christmas Club account that gives you higher interest than any other bank. And this is what Christmas looks like without a Bank of the Bahamas Christmas Club account. Which type of Christmas do you prefer? We thought so. Open a Bank of the Bahamas Christmas Club account before June 30th and get more merry for your money.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!
Only at your Bank of Solutions.
What if there was a place at the crossroads of Nolens and Nassau
where the bold coffees of Asia, Africa, and South America are paired with the spicy, savory flavors of the South. Where authentic Cajun Creole fare is always cooking and love is always brewing. A crossroads for friends and family, where business and pleasure, they're all the same. Where cosmopolitan meets Caribbean, where the exotic and everyday combine. Louis & Steen's New Orleans Coffee House. Exquisite specialty coffee. Delicious Cajun fare. Come see what's brewing all year round at 809 West Bay Street. Louis & Steen's. Brewing smiles, brewing family, brewing love in every cup.
New Orleans Coffee House.
Have you heard about RIA? It's one of Cash & Go's new ways to transfer money. RIA allows you to send money for cash pickup or direct to a bank account. Send money, pay bills, pay insurance, purchase airline tickets, make Visa payments. Love Cash & Go. Ask us about RIA money transfer today. For more information, call 322-CASH or visit simplycashandgo.com.
The man in the boat sculling round Bahama land. The man in the boat and the crowd is sipping sand. The Bohemian beer, good right over here. If you proud to be Bohemian, raise your signs in the air. The man in the boat sculling round Bahama land. The man in the boat and the crowd is sipping sand. 100% Bohemian owned, keep them foreign guys.
Available at Jimmy's Liquor Store or your favorite restaurant or liquor stores throughout the Bahamas.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
One man is dead following an industrial accident here in the capital. Police say shortly after 2 this afternoon, 2 male employees of a block plant on Wolf Road were cleaning on the inside of a cement mixing machine when it switched on. As a result, one of the men sustained injuries, serious injuries rather, and had to be rushed to the hospital where he later died. Investigations are ongoing. Meanwhile, a scare for many passengers on board a public service bus in downtown Nassau today as the driver of the bus crashed into the hotel's wall. Police say the driver was heading down Cumberland Street when his brakes reportedly failed, and he steered his vehicle to avoid motorists and pedestrians and ended running into the hotel. A number of passengers, including tourists on board, reported feeling pain in the neck and shoulder. However, we're told that they all refused medical care from emergency medical teams on the scene. An investigation is underway. From the courts, several persons appearing before a magistrate today charged with a long list of fraud-related crimes. DeAndre Williamson reports.
3 men and 1 woman face a string of fraud and stealing charges in the magistrate's court on Monday. Appearing before Magistrate Darren's Roll Davis were 35-year-old Crispin Tina Munnings of Commonwealth Boulevard, 32-year-old Duran Mackey of Padolia Street, 28-year-old Crispin Johnson of Elizabeth Estates, and 28-year-old Jamaris King of Fox Hill. They're accused of stealing money from Royal Bank of Canada accounts at different locations in Nassau. Munnings pleaded not guilty to 25 counts, which involves fraud, stealing, the acquisition of proceeds of criminal conduct, and laundering the proceeds of criminal conduct. She is accused of defrauding and obtaining more than $10,000. Mackey pleaded not guilty to several charges of stealing and fraud. He is also accused of obtaining more than $10,000 from various RBC accounts. He was represented by attorney Calvin Seymour. Meantime, Johnson also pleaded not guilty to all of his charges, and he's accused of obtaining more than $5,000 from Royal Bank. His matter was adjourned to March 14th and 19th. The 4th defendant in that matter also pleaded not guilty to all 6 of his charges. King is accused of obtaining thousands of dollars from the bank. He is also accused of acquiring monies which were the proceeds of crime and laundering the proceeds of crime. His matter was adjourned to March 19th to 21st.
All of the accused were not granted bail and were remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Also appearing in court on Monday were 31-year-old Jason King and 37-year-old Samantha Bethel. They were charged with possession of dangerous drugs, conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, possession of unlicensed weapons and ammunition with the intent to supply. According to reports, the two were found with Indian hemp, 2 unlicensed AK-47s, and a rifle with an erased serial number. They pleaded not guilty to the charges and were remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. They are scheduled to return to court on April 27th at 10 a.m.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scatterly. An evaluation of the marine protected areas in the Bahamas puts the economic value of ecosystem services in the billions and helps to build the case for expanding the network of these spaces in the country. The report, Economic Valuation of Ecosystem Services in Bahamian Marine Protected Areas, was commissioned by Bahamas Protected, a 3-year initiative to manage and expand marine protected areas. The report also looked at the economic value of many environmental aspects, from coral reefs to creeks to mangroves and seagrass. Bahamas Protected is a joint effort between the Nature Conservancy, the Bahamas National Trust, and the Bahamas Reef Environment Educational Foundation, with major funding support from Oceans 5. In other business news, BTC's Chief Commercial Officer, Andre Knowles, will speak on the topic, A Digital Future in Telecommunications, at the 20th Annual Grand Bahama Business Outlook. Knowles noted how BTC continues to invest in a fiber-rich network and that their job as the communications provider of choice is to develop practical solutions to meet customers' needs, no matter the type of business and no matter where the location. As we operate and live in a digital landscape where technology plays a critical role in everyday life. The Grand Bahama Business Outlook will take place on February 22nd at the Grand Lucayan Resort. And in international news, Black Panther, Marvel's first film directed by an African American, brought in an estimated $201.8 million for its 3-day debut in North America this past weekend. That's the 5th biggest opening of all time. The opening for the film, starring Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan, did not just shatter expectations, but it broke multiple box office records too. It is the 2nd biggest opening for a Marvel Studios film, behind 2012's The Avengers. It outpaced other huge hits like Avengers Age of the Ultron, Captain America Civil War, and Iron Man 3. It is the studio's 18th straight #1 opening. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scatterly.
There's so much to experience in the islands of the Bahamas, and the plan is to make the entire family island experience even better, starting with the moment you step off of the plane. Tourism and Aviation Minister Dionisio de Aguilar talks about the plans to improve all 28 of the major family island airports.
We divided the 28 airports into Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Tier 1 are the airports that receive the vast majority of foreign visitors, and they are namely Marsh Harbor, Exuma, North Eleuthera, Governor's Harbor, and San Salvador.
The redevelopment of the airports will be done in phases, and those major family island airports in Tier 1 will be priority. But the minister said there are others which don't fall into that category that the government is considering for the first phase of upgrades.
There are other airports which are in such unacceptable condition that we're going to have to come out of Tier 1 into Tier 2. For example, Long Island. Long Island needs an airport.
Each airport will take millions of dollars to improve, with an estimated total of $160 million for all, and the government can't do it alone.
But they're going to have to be public-private partnerships where we get private sector organizations to come to partner with the government. The government puts in the land, the buildings, retains ownership of it, and they then put in their capital to rejuvenate it, and then they get an operating lease with the government, in much the same way that NAD has at the Lynden Pinling International Airport. We feel that that's the best model to revitalize our airports, and that's what we'll be pursuing.
The overall goal is the modernization and maintenance of the airports and major infrastructure improvements like visual aids, lighting, runway beacons, mobile airport equipment, parking platforms, and passenger terminals. Read more on tourismtoday.com. I'm Nakia Christie, and this is Tourism Today.
I've been playing football since I was a kid, and my dream has always been to see the world's best players in real life. I'd stand together with thousands and I'd cheer.
You can win an all-expense-paid trip for two to the 2018 FIFA World Cup, courtesy of Visa. Just use your Scotiabank Visa card for anything. The more you use your card, the more chances you get. So cheer from Russia with Scotiabank and Visa. Conditions apply.
Don't fear the sun. There's a new revolution against persisting spots and scars. Keratone presents the new BSC Black Spots Corrector. With its 3-in-1 formula, it eliminates all spots and marks that are on hands, feet, and elbows. The B-carotene nourishes the skin. The DSP-10 protects from the sun. And the collagen regenerates the cells. For efficient results. Your skin has never been so wonderful.
A new feature is on the way to the downtown experience as the city center is transformed. A new boardwalk will be a main attraction. Members of the Downtown Nassau Partnership Committee feel this enhancement will add to the tourist experience. Chairman Ed Fields provides more details of those plans.
For many, many years, we've been hearing about the boardwalk and what its relevance was and is. And to the stakeholders who own the properties in that area, they know that a boardwalk essentially is a catalyst to the development of that area. That from the waterfront back is really how the development has to go. It has already begun. The owners of the property on the foreshore from East Street to the Sydney Poitiers Bridge have agreed on a 12-foot wide boardwalk that will traverse properties owned by both public and private stakeholders. Government property will remain in public hands, as will private property remain in private hands. The boardwalk will be built by the private sector stakeholders across both public and private property at no cost to government. It will be fully accessible to the public, managed by the private sector to ensure maintenance, cleanliness, and security.
Students and teachers of the Hugh Campbell Primary School in Freeport, Grand Bahama paid a courtesy call on Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pidling at Government House today. The 6th grade students traveled to the capital to visit Nassau's historic sites. The Governor General gave the students some advice and quizzed them on a bit of history. Blair Academy is upgrading and expanding. Representatives from the school's autism unit gave us some insight on various programs offered and shared how the program is impacting students. Crystal Darling reports.
Blairwood Academy is an alternative all-age school that helps students with learning, behavioral, and emotional difficulties. Blairwood Academy was established 26 years ago and has grown into a school that aids children struggling with dyslexia, processing delays, general learning disabilities, ADHD, and autistic spectrum disorders. 10 years ago, the school's autism program began with 8 students. Today, it has grown to 35 and is still expanding. Director of the Autism Unit, Shamika Moss, says that many students are referred to them through doctors, and they use a fully engaging curriculum to reach every pupil.
We use a total multi-sensory approach to the children's learning styles. Within our classroom, of course, we have different children that learn differently. So we may use blocks for one. The other one we may get up and we may have to dance, whatever we have to bring across the message for them to learn.
Director of the Autism Unit, Kim Cascalis, says that the school caters to children with moderate to severe learning difficulties and can also serve as an intermediate school for children who may need to catch up after any accidental setback.
Some kids need a little bit more. Some kids need less. So we prepare them, so 3/4 of our school, we prepare to get ready for BJCs, BGCSEs, but they just need a little bit more time, a little bit more one-on-one, a little bit more love, a little bit more individualized instruction. And then in the autism unit, we do the same thing, but even at a slower pace.
Blairwood Academy student Kimani Dean says that his experience at the school has been rewarding.
I am gaining confidence to accept challenges. I am not fearful anymore. The skills I have learned has helped me with learning and a confident teenager.
The school continues looking forward to achieving its ultimate goal, which is to cure illiteracy in the Bahamas. I'm Crystal Darling, ZNS Network News.
The month of February is National Heart Month, and one local nutritionist is encouraging Bahamians to eat healthy and practice healthier lifestyles. In the conclusion of the Matters of the Heart series, we take a look at what it takes to do just that.
Eating lots of fruits and greens is one of the biggest challenges some Bahamians find hard to get accustomed to when enjoying a full-course meal, but it is critical to a healthier lifestyle and long life. Owner of the Wellness Center and nutritionist Dr. Patty Simonet gave a breakdown of some foods we should consider in order to prevent being diagnosed with heart disease.
Half of the plate should be based on green vegetables, what we call crucifers as well, so cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, because those are considered anti-cancer foods, and then leafy greens, spinach, kale, bok choy. For example, protein should be primarily from fish. So because if we're looking at fish sources, we know that they're not high in what we would call bad fats. And the cold water fish especially, like salmon, tuna, mackerel. We know some countries still inject hormones and other synthetic, chemicals into the meat source, antibiotics and those kinds of things. So that's where I would start. And then I don't necessarily blanketly recommend dairy products.
Dr. Simonet says Bahamians must be aware of the foods being imported into this country that they simply have no knowledge of.
Things are in the food store now that says for export only. Things are in the food store that's written in Chinese. Nobody understands it. And so we have to begin to protect our home, starting with our borders. And then people can move in closer to protect their homes and their families. So I think it's so multi-pronged in terms of how do we attack this huge problem? Protecting the borders, protecting what's in the food stores, educating parents, educating children, and then create environments like the school environment particularly, where kids can eat healthy without having to be forced to make a choice.
Dr. Simonet says another form of medicine to become a healthier you is lots of exercise.
If you get 2.5 to 3 hours of exercise a week, that you could reduce your risk for heart disease 40% more than someone who does nothing, okay? So if you also exercise every day, and the exercise doesn't have to be like you're training for CARIFTA. You just walk. You walk at a moderate to intense pace, and intense could be where you can still carry on a conversation, but maybe not as easily. Exercise should be cardio. It should be strength training. It should be flexibility, because without flexibility, now we have joint problems, people get more injuries, and then body composition. So to the point where your diet and your exercise, or your nutrition and your exercise, contributes to living healthy and maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
Sometimes it may benefit to veer away from the norm and try something new and unexpected. In this week's edition of Things You Should Know, Cleopatra Murphy takes a look at a few alternative medicines that may just spark your interest and boost your health.
More and more people are turning to alternative medicines to maintain their health or find cures. Owner of Shaddai Health, Patrice Stubbs, says she sells a line of natural products that help to heal, rebuild, restore, and maintain the body, believing that despite advancements in medical care, natural products are always best. Her flagship products are the chaga mushroom and the gano mushroom that she says cleanses and nourishes the blood, lowers and regulates blood pressure, and supports healthy blood circulation, among other benefits.
These are medicinal mushrooms. They have been used in traditional Chinese and Japanese and Korean medicine for thousands of years. And the Russians, they use it in their medicine especially for cancer.
Stubbs says the mushroom, along with sea moss that she also sells, are adaptogenic herbs.
Adaptogenic herbs are anything God has created that when you put it in your body, it does more than one thing. It literally customizes. Whatever's too high, it's going to bring it down to where it needs to be. Whatever's too low, it's going to bring it up to where it needs to be, and it creates balance in the body. We have testimonies from Grand Bahama straight down to Inagua. Blood pressure, sugar, cholesterol, it normalizes them.
The entrepreneur says sea moss that she transformed from its raw form into a solid comes packed with minerals. She says it has many uses, along with easing menstrual pain.
So I've had young girls who've had lots of period cramps, and it's like magic. You take your minerals and you understand, oh, I'm better. So it's our bodies responding and crying out to us.
For persons skeptical about the products, Stubbs says research has been performed on chaga and gano that has proven their effectiveness. Still, she encourages people to do their own research.
We are responsible for this body that God has given us. Not your doctor, not your husband, not your wife. Spoonful and forkful at a time. You put the food in your mouth, so you need to make sure you understand what you're putting in your mouth.
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Stay close. Sports and Family Island weather are up next. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This is the start of a new day. I'm alive. Alive is igniting the mobile communications market in the Bahamas. The calls are clear. The speeds are fast. It's nothing better. This is Darryl Miller Live, and I'm alive. I believe in that.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more. RBC Royal Bank. It's all about you.
Attention, Arambeli alumni, it's time to give back. Our future leaders need to hear from you.
Intentionally mentoring and positively affecting our country's teens.
Impact, impact.
Impact, impact, impact.
Yes, it is very important that the alumni partake in a session called Impact. As teenagers, they need guidance. And who are better to give that guidance on those persons who will have been successful in life? And that's you all, you people.
Intentionally mentoring and positively affecting our country's team.
Impact, impact. You all know what impact. You all know what to
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
Fanta, supporting the greatest expression of Bahamian culture. More than one flavor, still one family.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
And it's time now for a check on temperatures around our family islands. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us live in studio with the details. Good evening, Basil. Any cool temperatures tonight?
LaDawn, no cool temperatures on the way, but we'll try and keep things a bit mild for you. But right now, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the family islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. It is 77 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, also in Greentoe, Key, Abaco, in the Berry Islands, 78 degrees. Allenstown, Bimini, 77. Here in the capital, 78 degrees. We pick up some more 77s in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, and also Fresh Creek, Central Andrews. Kemps Bay, South Andrews, 78 degrees. Stanley Key in the Exumachine at 78 degrees as well. A little further south into San Salvador and Rum Key, it is 78, 78. Also in Georgetown, Exuma, Clarencetown, Long Island, 78 as well. Crooked Island, 78. 77 degrees in Betsy Bay, Mayaguana, Ackland, 77. Ragged Island, 78 degrees. Also Matutani, Nagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands, all at 78 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the Northwestern Islands, we have caution flags up. Winds out of the east, 15 to 20 knots. Rough seas around 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. High tide, well, that will take place a little later on at 10:23. For the central and southeastern islands, winds easterly, 15 to 25 knots. Advisories are up for you boaters. Very rough sea conditions, 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. And tomorrow in the Northwestern Islands, no change. Caution flags remain, save for the wind starting to rotate clockwise just a bit. 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. High tide, 10:38 in the morning. Low tide, 4:56 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands tomorrow, advisories remain easterly flow, 15 to 25 knots, with those wave heights running at 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. And as we go into Wednesday, we have that high pressure maintaining those caution levels, 15 to 20 knots out of the east, wave heights 4 to 7 feet. The high tide, 11:24 in the morning, low tide at 5:42 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, that persistent easterly flow once again at 15 to 25 knots, rough sea surface at 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your trial forecast, and your trial forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Livingston, down mine Livingston, I hear la 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 la, I hear la 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 la, don't mind Livingston, don't mind Livingston, I hear la 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 la, I hear la 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 la.
That's going to do it for your trial forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 15 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Weight loss is a health priority for many Bahamians. When we are overweight, we are at a much higher risk of diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, certain cancers, and even mood disorders like depression and anxiety. If you add 30 minutes of brisk walking to your daily routine, you could burn about 150 more calories a day. To lose a pound a week, you generally need to eliminate 500 calories a day. Of course, the more you walk and the quicker your pace, the more calories you'll burn. To reap the most health benefits from your exercise intensity must generally be at a moderate or vigorous level. For weight loss, the more intense your exercise or the longer you exercise, the more calories you burn. However, balance is important. Overdoing it can increase your risk of soreness, injury, and burnout. If you're new to regular exercise and physical activity, you may need to start out at a light intensity and gradually build up to a moderate, vigorous intensity. Eating fewer calories through dietary changes seems to promote weight loss more effectively than even physical activity. Combining 30 minutes of walking with sensible eating habits can make a difference. Commit to losing weight through healthy eating and exercise and improve your health starting today. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Know how you can save more money, save more time, earn more interest, and have more for the future? The solution is an account from Fidelity Bank. With our ASU Savings, fixed deposits, and preferred client program, you can get free financial advice from our team of experts, competitive interest rates, and free online banking for simple and safe banking anytime, anywhere. Open a fixed deposit or savings account with Fidelity by visiting a branch today. Get into the rhythm of saving with Fidelity. Fidelity, we're good for you.
The performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean. Banking that fits your life.
Looking to upgrade your refrigerator stove or purchase an affordable home generator? We've got the perfect solution for you. Bahamas Welding and Fire is the best choice for the lowest prices in town. We carry top-of-the-line outdoor barbecue grills, air conditioners, refrigerators, stoves, generators, industrial hardware, and garden supplies with a wide assortment of tools and accessories. Open Monday through Saturday. Telephone 394-0004. BWF, we're more than just our name.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
This is the start of a new day. I'm alive. Alive is igniting the mobile communications market in the Bahamas. The calls are clear. The speeds are fast. It's nothing better. This is Darryl Miller Live, and I'm alive. I believe in that.
Cellular and Electronics is your one-stop shop for all your electronic needs. From the latest in cell phones and accessories like the iPhone 6s Plus to the Samsung S6 Edge, the latest in game consoles, games, and accessories. We also carry the best hoverboards, stereo sound systems, and much more. We also have certified technicians to fix all your electronic needs. Located in the Coconut Grove Plaza and the mall at Marathon. What are you waiting for? Come on down to CTI Cellular and Electronics today.
feel like eating something tasty that's good for you? Super Value can help you create the perfect meal when you visit the salad bars. Filled with all the nutritional choices that are good for you, our salad bars make the perfect lunch or snack, anytime and any day of the week. Eat smart, eat healthy. Join the lunch bunch at a Super Value salad bar, including the quality markets, including quality stamps. Super Value, the Bahamian supermarkets.
Battery and tire specialists want to improve your ride with their new wheel alignment services. Rough roads can make the steering wheel shimmy, your car drift sideways, and even make you skid in wet weather. Professional wheel alignment extends the life of your tires, prevents expensive repairs, and saves you money on gas. Battery and Tire, 7 Terrace, Centerville, 325-0547. Battery and Tire Specialist. We keep you moving.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. This week, all about basketball here in the 242. Our senior national man will host 2 games as qualifying continues for the FIBA World Cup, and the 6th man will be key.
We can't do it without them. You could have 5 basketball players, 12 players in the gym, and the coaches playing against Dominican and Canada, but if the gym is not filled with support for Team Bahamas, it's going to be very difficult to beat those 2 teams. You know, when you look at Team Dominican Republic, which is probably the best team in our pool, if we really want to encourage the public to come out. We fall down in game 1 and 2, but we've gotten back up. You know, and in life sometimes you fail, but you have to get back up in order to succeed, and that's what we have our mindset on. We have stand back up, and now we're ready to go back to battle, and we will hope and pray and would encourage the country to come out and support us on Thursday night on the 22nd, on Sunday the 25th, when we play Canada and Dominican Republic, because we need their support to help us win these 2 games.
One player not available for the Bahamas this week is Sacramento Kings guard Buddy Hield. Buddy, however, was busy the last couple of days at NBA All-Star Weekend. First up on Friday, Buddy, a part of the Rising Stars Challenge, playing for Team World against Team USA. Buddy would finish with a side-high 29 points, which included 5 3-pointers. That would help Team World earn the win 155-124. Now, this was Buddy's last appearance in the game, as it's only for rookies and second-year players. Last year, Buddy also had a good showing in the Rising Stars Challenge, scoring 28 points on his home floor when he was a member of the New Orleans Pelicans. To the Rising Stars Challenge, Buddy also a part of the Skills Challenge on Saturday. His chance to advance came down to his signature shot, but he missed the 3-pointer, get that, and Brooklyn Nets guard Spencer Dinwiddie made his attempt to eliminate Buddy in the first round. Now, if there's any consolation, Buddy can at least say he lost to the eventual champion, as Dinwiddie would go on to win the competition, taking down Chicago big man Lauri Markkanen in the final. Still talking hoops, the Hugh Campbell Basketball Classic taking place this week here in the capital. A number of Family Island schools taking part, but Central Andros not one of them, and here's why.
Raising funds to travel to those venues has been very difficult, and that's why we haven't been able to travel to the major tournaments in the country. Matter of fact, our carpentry teacher and the assistant coach actually uses his own personal boat to take us about Andros to all of the high school tourneys on this island. We went to South Andros, and now Mangrove Key will be the next one. So we're working on fundraising, and as soon as we get our funds in order, we will be in those major tournaments. Looking forward to it.
Following Hugh Campbell will be the National High School Basketball Championships in Freeport, Grand Bahama. The big question is, will the senior boys champs from the private school ranks be there?
I've already spoken to Mrs. Knowles, and SAC will be there. SAC is the #1 team for private schools in New Providence, and by virtue of that, they are already in. These 2 teams that would have made it to the GSSA Championship, they're in. The team that came second in the BISS, they're in. And so and that goes for the girls teams too from the BISS that made it to the championship, they're in. So this is very, very exciting.
SAC's Big Red Machine still celebrating after their narrow victory over the Queens College Comets at last week's BAISS private school track and field meet. and coaching played a big role.
Diane Woodside Johnson, that's your head Olympic coach for the country, you know, and Jason Edwards in jumps, that's your world championship coach. And Don Johnson, one of the best throwing coach in the country, and Norma Miller. And so coaching is a big part of it, trying to develop your program. Sometimes you may be tempted to look without and try to bring in, but that's not the answer. You have to develop your program from within.
In addition to the coaches, the athletes themselves must get credit as well, and so this was truly a team effort.
We know it's going to be a tough one, but you know, soccer's never die. They fought. The soccer kids fight. They are true soccers. And I compliment them, I commend them. Yes, the coaches did a good job, but the final result comes down to the athletes who have heart and they wanted to do it and they did it. We thought we wasn't going to make it. The 800 meters, really surprised us. That was our weakness. All the runners in the 800, they did really, really well. They kept their own. And when we saw that, we were like, okay, I think we have a chance. We're going to get this. So here we are, another victory.
Baseball taking center stage over the weekend in the big yard. Our Charles Fisher was there.
Freedom Farm Nassau touched down at the San Andres Airport early Saturday morning. First order of business was to give the Almighty thanks. Then, like they do here in New Providence during the opening, Freedom Farm Nassau and Central Andres marched to the park as one. At the park, they heard from numerous speakers. First up was the major sponsor for Freedom Farm, Alive, and Chief Officer Damian Blackman.
We're delighted that we can play our small part in Alive in helping the development of baseball. A great man on this stage had a vision. Mr. Greg Burrows, many years ago, 29 years ago indeed, to found the Freedom Farm program. And while Live's only been involved in the last year, the reason we chose this program to get involved in as our principal sponsorship was because we could see the amazing good that Freedom Farm has done in Nassau.
Founder of Freedom Farm, Greg Burrows, stressing in order for the league to succeed, some persons need to step up to the plate.
These little guys you see standing here before us today need the men's support. When I come back to Andros, I want you all to call us before I come back and say, look here, we need more uniform because we got more men involved. These your kids. The men have to be the foundation like a column. Not the foundation that lay down, that they put steel up. I want you to be the foundation like a column, to stand and put all of these young men in the front of you, so that if any of them fall, they would fall back, and you could be that foundation, that stand-up foundation that could support them and stand them back up straight.
Also making his voice known was Justice Bernard Turner, who hit a home run with his speech.
And I am satisfied that persons who get involved in organized sporting activities are too busy to get involved in the other things which cause them to end up before somebody like me. And so all of you, by making the commitment just to become involved, just to be involved in a sporting league, have already made a determination as to how you want your life to turn out.
The Song of Play ball now ringing in Central Andros and making its move to other islands in the future. For Zenithal Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
That will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
That's good food and drinks. My mood makes you think that this life's made for a king. The room starts to shake, so smooth if you blink, you might just miss the whole thing. It's just a different way to move in the
Domino's242.com. Order online for parties, birthdays, celebrations, and even cheesy weddings.
free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more. RBC Royal Bank. It's all about you.
Ever wondered what smart health insurance feels like?
Atlantic Medical's 24/7 worldwide health insurance does most of the thinking for you.
1,500 CGI health claims are settled daily.
56% of claims settled automatically.
You can access your health plan almost anywhere, anytime.
And have smart wellness with online data tracking.
And more provider choices for you and the people who matter most.
Premier Health is smart health insurance, and it feels good.
Atlantic Medical, where people come first.
AID features Napa Auto Parts which meet or exceed OE specifications. Parts for Asian vehicles are available at great prices. Filters from $2, brakes from $22, tie rod ends from $21, head gaskets from $10, and fuel pumps from $32. AID is also your destination for the best selection of automotive accessories. Hubcap sets from $22.45, steering wheel covers from $4.50, car mat sets from $8.45, and seat covers from $34.44. Wipers, wash and wax products, motor oils, and automotive chemicals for every vehicle. Angle grinders from $44.53, pressure washers from $162. For the month of February, all Napa starters and alternators are 15% off at all AID locations. AID is now open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. AID, Blue Hill Road and Wolf Road have all you really need and more.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Financial dreams only become a reality when we make the commitment to ourselves and our financial future. Let Leno help you bridge your dream into a reality. Leno Corporate Services offer individual retirement plans, pension administration, investment management, brokerage and trading, accounting, payroll, and corporate services.
Leno, bridging possibilities. Contact us at 396-3225.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, a strong area of high pressure will generate some moderate to strong winds across the islands over the next several days, so certainly not a good week for boating. Also, we have an upper level trough that will create a bit of cloudiness as well tonight and part of tomorrow, and you can anticipate 1 or 2 passing showers as well. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy and mild with an isolated shower or two likely. Your low temperature getting down to 72 degrees, and tomorrow it's going to be partly sunny, very breezy, high temperature about 85 degrees. And your extended weather forecast over the next 7 days, keeping you in the mid-80s right through the 7-day cycle. Lots of sunshine in the forecast, and nighttime temperatures, as usual, just holding in the low 70s. And with the strong winds, it certainly will make sleeping a little bit more comfortable over the next several nights.
Well, I know I'm surrounded by comets, but I want to say a special congratulations to the SAC, the big red machine. My mother is an alumni of SAC, and so therefore I wanted to send a special congratulations to SAC.
Okay, go ahead.
So Basil, I know that you are a Queen's Comet as well.
Absolutely, and like I said, Arnold